In the final days of World War II, as Allied forces closed in from the west and Soviet tanks rolled in from the east, the Nazis were racing to complete something unimaginable. Not a bomb, not a rocket, but a device so advanced, so dangerous that even today, governments deny its existence. Codenamed Die Glocke, the bell, this machine reportedly emitted an otherworldly blue glow. Witnesses described a sound that made teeth vibrate, animals that dropped dead within 500 meters, and human test subjects who aged decades in minutes. When the war ended, the bell vanished. The scientists working on it disappeared. The underground facility where it was housed was demolished with such thoroughness that even the rubble was shipped away. The Nazi bell, secret super weapon. What you're about to see isn't science fiction. It's historical fact, declassified documents, eyewitness testimony, and disturbing evidence that suggests the bell may have been more successful than anyone dared admit. Tonight, we follow the trail of the occult societies that birthed this nightmare, the missing scientists who may have taken its secrets to the grave or to America, and the reports that suggest this technology didn't die with the Third Reich. It evolved. Before the swastika became the symbol of the Third Reich, before the concentration camps, before the war, there was the Thule Society. Founded in Munich by occult fanatic Rudolf von Sebetendorf, this aristocratic secret society didn't just worship ancient Aryan myths. They believed these legends held the keys to unimaginable power. Their inner circle included future Nazi luminaries Rudolf Hess, Alfred Rosenberg, and most crucially, Dietrich Eckart, the alcoholic playwright who would become Hitler's mentor. In private meetings, Eckart whispered to the young Hitler about Thule's ultimate goal, not just political domination, but the resurrection of ancient Atlantean technology. Technology they believed could bend the very fabric of reality. This is where the Nazi obsession with the supernatural began, where science and the occult first merged, and where the first whispers of a bell-shaped device capable of altering time and space entered Hitler's dreams. But the Thule Society had a darker, more secretive counterpart. The Vril Society, named after the mythical Vril energy said to power ancient flying machines. And at its heart stood Maria Orzik, a stunning Viennese psychic with waist-length hair she never cut, claiming it acted as an antenna for extraterrestrial communication. In trance states, Orzik channeled messages she claimed came from Aldebaran, a star 65 light-years away. The Aldebaran scripts she produced weren't just prophecies. They were precise engineering schematics for what her followers believed, a time machine. By 1936, the Vril Society's work had attracted Hitler's personal attention. Their research was folded into the SS's most secretive program, the crazed Der Zeit, Circle of Time, and their designs would soon find their way to a man even more ruthless than Hitler himself. If the Nazi bell had a father, it was this man, Hans Kammler, the engineer who designed Auschwitz's gas chambers with chilling efficiency, the bureaucrat who personally oversaw the deaths of hundreds of thousands, and the only Nazi officer with direct control over both the V-2 rocket program and Hitler's occult research projects. By 1944, Kammler commanded a secret empire of underground factories and research facilities. His signature appears on documents authorizing human experiments so horrific, even Mengele looked away. And according to recently uncovered SS pay records, he personally controlled the budget for Project Kronos, the bell's official designation. Then in April 1945, as Berlin fell, Kammler vanished, not just disappeared, was erased. Some say he shot himself. Others claim he fled to Argentina, but the most disturbing theory that he succeeded, that the bell worked. 1918, Germany lies broken after World War I. In this elegant hotel suite, a group of wealthy industrialists and disgraced aristocrats gather around artifacts looted from Arctic expeditions. They call themselves the Thule Gesellschaft, named after the mythical northern homeland of the Aryan race. But their ambitions go far beyond politics. At the society's core stood Dietrich Eckart, playwright, morphine addict, and the man who would mold an angry young corporal named Adolf Hitler into the Führer. Eckart didn't just give Hitler his ideology, he infected him with an obsession. The belief that ancient Aryan civilizations possessed technology beyond our understanding, and that this knowledge could be reclaimed. This was the birth of the Nazi occult machine, where the swastika transformed from an ancient symbol to an emblem of terror. Where the seeds of the Bell Project were first planted in the mind of a future dictator. While the Thule Society plotted in Munich, an even more secretive group emerged in Berlin, the Vril Gesellschaft, Unlike the aristocratic Thule members, these were women young, brilliant, and utterly convinced they could channel messages from the stars. Maria Orsic claimed these designs came from beings in the Aldebaran system, blueprints for machines that could manipulate gravity and time. By 1922, her group had attracted dangerous attention. SS officers began attending their seances. Nazi scientists studied their diagrams, and by 1936, their research was absorbed into the SS's most secretive program. The Vril Societies' work became the foundation for Nazi Germany's most advanced weapons research, but their final fate remains one of history's great mysteries. In March 1945, Maria Orsic and her inner circle vanished without a trace. Some say they escaped to Argentina, others whisper they succeeded in their ultimate goal. If evil had an engineer, it was SS Obergruppenführer Hans Kammler, the man who designed Auschwitz's gas chambers with chilling efficiency, the bureaucrat who personally oversaw the deaths of millions, and the only Nazi officer with direct control over both the V-2 rocket program and Himmler's occult research projects. By 1944, Kammler commanded a secret empire of underground factories and research facilities. His signature appears on documents authorizing human experiments so horrific they were burned after the war. And according to recently uncovered SS pay records, he personally controlled the budget for Project Kronos, the Bel's official designation. Then in April 1945, as Soviet shells rained down on Berlin, Kammler vanished, not just disappeared, was erased. His adjutant claimed he committed suicide, but no body was ever found. American intelligence files suggest he cut a deal with the Allies. Soviet archives hint he was taken by something else. The Bel's creators are gone, but their creation may still be ringing.
For some reason, I will continue this narration. UFO sightings in the Nazi Connection, July 1947. A rancher in Roswell, New Mexico stumbles upon wreckage scattered across his land. The military declares it a weather balloon, but the debris field tells a different story. Twisted metal stamped with strange runes, fibers that shouldn't exist, and witnesses who swear they saw not a saucer, but something shaped like a bell. This wasn't an isolated incident. In the decades after the war, reports poured in from military pilots, radar operators, and astronauts, all describing the same thing: metallic bell-shaped craft performing impossible maneuvers that defied physics as we knew them, but matched exactly what Nazi scientists had theorized. Coincidence, or evidence that somewhere someone perfected the Nazis' darkest invention? Modern Military Experiments 2010. A whistleblower leaks documents from a Lockheed Martin Skunk Works facility in Nevada. The files describe a classified project codenamed Silver Bell, an attempt to replicate rotational gravity effects using a mercury-like compound called RX-525. The reports note one disturbing detail: test subjects experienced temporal dislocation symptoms. The parallels are undeniable. The same metallic hum, the same glowing liquid, the same side effects. Were American scientists recreating the Nazi bell, or had they found the original? In 1946, Admiral Byrd led Operation He-Jump, the largest Antarctic expedition in history. Officially, it was a research mission. But Byrd's private journals tell a different story. He writes of encountering flying discs that emerged from the ice, of a hidden Nazi base, and of a great bell buried deep beneath the snow. The evidence suggests a terrifying truth. The bell was never destroyed, it was moved, improved. And somewhere, March 3rd, 2024, a joint NSA-DARPA listening post in McMurdo Station detects an anomaly. Seismic sensors register rhythmic vibrations at exactly 13 Hz, the same frequency Jacob Spornberg described in his 1945 interrogation. Satellite thermal imaging shows something waking up beneath 2 miles of ice. They tried to contain it. The Americans, the Russians, even the Chinese. For 75 years, the world's superpowers maintained an unspoken pact to keep the bell buried, because every attempt to retrieve it ended the same way. We were wrong about everything. The bell wasn't a weapon. It was a doorway, and on the other side, something was waiting. Can't you hear it? After all these years, the bell is still ringing. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe